Hey, let's check in on Fox and Friends and see. This is the light morning show on Fox where they, toss around ideas like maybe we should do some carpet bombing of our own citizens, or send in an elite squad of military personnel to deal with this situation. Of course, this is Tom Cotton, maybe our next president. After Donald Trump, who knows? But this guy is waiting in the wings. And here he is suggesting it's time for the 101 Airborne to maybe be activated.
And these officers should be prosecuted to the hilt of the law. I'm with you. I don't know anybody that feels differently, to be honest. However, in 33 cities, we have a curfew. In 41 states, we have unrest. In 27 states, we brought up the National Guard. And none of it outside Minneapolis seemed effective. If you're the president in the Oval Office today, what can you do to bring order back in the country?
Pause it for 1 second. Now, I just want to say that this is sort of an unfair question because, of course, the president was not in the Oval Office. He was in a bunker because he was very worried about the protesters out in front of the White House. And they thought it would give him indigestion. I suspect it was just a way to keep him from watching TV during this. But nevertheless, continue with the video.
You're right, Brian, that the riots and the anarchy we've seen across the country have nothing to do with the death of George Floyd. In Washington, D.C., they set fire to a historic church attended by every president since James Madison. They defaced the Department of Veterans Affairs and the World War II Memorial, which honor our veterans. They defaced the Lincoln Memorial, a temple in which we remember the great emancipator. What the president can do is say that justice will be done in accordance with law for George Floyd, and we will always respect the right of peaceful protest, as many of these cities saw in the daytime. But the rioting, the anarchy, and the looting ends tonight. If local law enforcement is overwhelmed, if local politicians will not do their most basic job to protect our citizens, let's see how these anarchists respond when the 101st Airborne is on the other side of the street.
And you're a guy from the infantry. You know what an organized opposition is, and this seems to be an organized opposition. And lastly,
oh my God. First off, there's something called posse comitatus. And I think the way they should respond if the 101 Airborne is across to the other side of the street is be like, this is unconstitutional, incidentally. Guy who always goes on and cites the Constitution. Will also say, the idea of the president saying we respect peaceful protest, maybe you should go back and look at what Colin Kaepernick was doing in terms of this is exactly what he was protesting. And there was a concerted effort to smear, a successful one, frankly, to smear the guy, to keep him from earning a living, to demonize him. I mean, it was far more cohesive in many respects than the police response that we're seeing. So I don't know, where are all the conservatives who watch Fox and Friends, who were always concerned about the founding fathers, with Tom Cotton basically saying we should bring the military in to deal with where was he when you had armed people going into the Michigan State House? Should we have brought in the 101 Airborne to deal with those folks? It's unbelievable. He's going to be he's going to be a guy who's going to run for president.
Yeah, that's one of my fears if we get a Biden administration, that all of the problems are compounded. The Democrats are the party of austerity, and we get a if not fascist, certainly fascist adjacent person in there 4 years later, like Tom Cotton.
Right. And then the other fear is we have Trump 4 years, and Mike Pence goes out there and picks Tom Cotton as his VP to hit both quadrants. I've got the evangelicals. You can bring the other nut jobs, and we've locked it all in.
Yeah.
Scary future either way. Let's